Welcome back to Huddle Up here on the Missouri Sports Network. This is my favorite segment. I'm so excited about it. I had to go change my hat, put on a different hat. We're going to talk about sports here across the state of Missouri. There's very interesting things that are happening. And we had some scores from last week that were interesting also that kind of made you kind of raise an eyebrow a little bit. And we're going to jump into it with Guy Newcomb here, the scoreboard guy himself, who has a lot to talk about. And there's some big games that were in the Ozarks last week, as well as across the state, Guy.
You bet. Joplin comes down at Class Six. They come down in football and they take on Nixa. Both teams undefeated. The COC's up for grabs. Their state ranking in Class Six up for grabs. And Ramon Green just went off for the Nixa Eagles. 357 yards, school record, 6 touchdowns, school record, and they win 49-35 against a good Joplin Eagle team. But Nixa, if they're going to compete with the CBCs out of St. Louis and the Lutheran North, who's a machine right now. Coach Learman has got it going on there for Lutheran North. They're not going to be able to give up 35 points to a Joplin team. They're going to have to shore up that defense a little bit. Offensively, they're loaded with Ramon Green. They got Knitzel at quarterback. They're loaded defensively. I mean, offensively, they just got to shore up that defense. In volleyball, last on Tuesday night, had a tremendous national type matchup between Liberty and Liberty North. These two schools are 6 miles apart. Everybody knows everybody, and Liberty North going into that game was actually ranked number two in the state of Missouri, while Liberty was ranked third. And Liberty won. It was at Liberty North. Liberty did come out on top. They moved to 22-1, and I'm sure they'll take over that number 2 or 1 spot. Had on the Missouri Sports Network, our athlete of the week, Harvey Cisneros, who is from Liberty North, is actually the number one recruit in her class in the nation, not in Missouri, in the nation. And she just recently committed to Arizona. So you can catch up with that on YouTube or on our Facebook page, that interview with her and Coach Katie uh, Dowden. But so a lot of things that went on this week. You've got softball kind of wrapping up. Their district seat meetings, most of them are next week. Softball being a fairly short season to avoid some of the weather stuff, but their district seat meetings are next week and the week after that. And you've got a Glendale team in Springfield, the Springfield area, that's won more games than they have ever in their history, and they're playing really well right now. Morrisville has had a tremendous start there as well here locally, but then you got to get into the larger schools. It's all about the Bruce Springs and the Blue Springs South. They've always got somebody in the circle that's throwing it in the mid 60s, and it's just tough to swing the bat there. But that's kind of a touch on it. And then with soccer, you've got Kickapoo in that Class Six. They're state ranked. And then you got Glendale. Jeff Rogers just won his 1,000th career game at Glendale High School, and they're ranked number 3. And they went to the Final Four last year. We were there, saw them, got to interview them as well. So it's all kind of catching up, wrapping up right now. But it's a fun time of the year.
That's a great update, guy. And you have a wealth of knowledge and understanding of what these teams are going through and who's playing good, who's playing not. Austin, what's going on in your neck of the woods?
There was 2 days ago I was going to come on here and I was going to tell you about Lesterville, and Lesterville's playing really well. They're 15-2 on the season. They were state ranked the last I checked. They're probably not now after what happened to them that I'm about to tell you. They got upset, and yes, it is an upset, by Winona. Winona beat them in 3 the other night. And I'll tell you something. Reese Gray out of Lesterville, she's a middle hitter. She plays all around, but she is a presence at the net for sure. Oh my goodness. She is probably the best hitter I've seen in a long time. And there are a lot of good hitters, and because this is where I'm at is a volleyball area, and there are a lot of good hitters. Nevaeh Malway in Winona, she's a good hitter. Haley Jennings in Eminence is a really good hitter. My sister Kaylee, she's a good hitter, but I'm gonna tell you, it don't matter. They don't come close. Reese Gray is the best hitter that I have seen in person live in a long, long time. Lesterville does end up, they got upset by Winona. It wasn't that close, which was surprising to me. It'll be interesting to see how they rebound the rest of the season.
And looking at some more football from last weekend, this upcoming week, one game that stuck out to me from last week, Guy, was took place up in St. Louis between Cardinal Ritter and Lutheran St. Charles. Lutheran St. Charles was last year's Class 2 state champions. They moved up a class. Ritter walked the dog on them. Final score was 33-0. I really think that Cardinal Ritter has placed themselves at the top of the heap as the team to beat. At the midway point through the season in Class 3, they really made a statement. Cardinal Ritter was ranked number 1 going into last week. Lutheran St. Charles ranked number 4. Lutheran St. Charles did not move an inch this week in the polls, so that tells you how good that Ritter actually is in comparison to the rest of the state. Some games against that have state-ranked opponents facing each other this coming Friday, tomorrow night. In 8-man, you have number 5 Drexel plays number 3 Archie. In Class 2, receiving votes, Mountain Grove will take on Class 2 number 9, Mountain View Liberty, and I really scratched my head at that number 9 ranking. I think they're higher than that. This week will show a lot. Also in Class 2, number 4 Lamar takes on Class 4 number 9 McDonald County, which should be another good test, Big 8 conference test. Class 2 number 3 Seneca will take on Class 4 number 10 Reed Spring. In Class 5, receiving votes, Glendale will take on Class 5 number 4 Lebanon, and that should be one heck of a game and contrasting styles to see who comes out on top in that one. And then in Class 6, Lee Summit North plays Class 6 number 3 Lee Summit North plays Class 6 number 8 Raymore Peculiar, and also Class 6 number 7 Troy Buchanan takes on Class 5 number 8 Timberland. And in late breaking news that I saw today, the Archdiocese of St. Louis has announced that St. Mary's High School will be closing at the end of this school year. And for those of you that don't know, St. Mary's is the defending Class 3 state champions, moved up a class to State 4, and currently ranked number 1. They have an awfully good football team that's awfully fun to watch, and they're going to be a tough out come November, December.
Wow, that is amazing. That's almost unbelievable. We played St. Mary's when I was in high school back in St. Louis. Very strong tradition-based school. Can't believe it. Very interesting that that's going to happen. Well, Guy, tell everyone where they need to be at on Friday afternoons to hear all the latest breaking and all the things that are going on here in the sports world here in our high school region here in Springfield and the area.
Well, Friday at 5, we'll host high school game day. We usually try and pull in some folks from around the state. We've had Earl Austin Jr. on in the past, Bailey Harbert, Max Preston, Dion Cliso, maybe Dave Queedall as well. We bring in folks from around the state, let them talk about their individual areas, about some of the big games coming up, talk a little bit about the other sports that are going on as well in that area. That's at 5 o'clock on Friday afternoons. And then at 9:30 will be Friday Night Live. And we've added some equipment, upgraded some equipment here, so we'll be able to take some phone calls now. We've tested it out today, and Bill Cobb, kind enough from Pizza Ranch, who's spent about an hour and a half, and just making sure we got it downloaded and we've got it tested. I've talked to DA, through Restream today, and made some other tests. So I'm fairly certain that'll work, and that'll make it a lot easier for coaches to be a part of the show on Friday night. Maybe get some other folks involved as well. But looking forward to it come Friday.
Yeah, absolutely. And if it doesn't work, like I said, always the freezer. Always put it in the freezer if it doesn't work. That's the number one way to get things back working again. At least that's what Mr. Austin Bradley described to us. His way of fixing his phone is to put it in the freezer.
I did. I shut it in the freezer.
And it came back working. All right, gentlemen, we're going to run right into it. We're going to run, sprint, jump, hurdle into our next session. Segment is just simply going, what have you been thinking about? Let's do 2 quick rounds. I'll start it off. I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say this proudly, and I'm going to make some people mad, but how about them Cowboys? The Cowboys played a game on Monday night, beat the Giants. There was a very interesting drop pass that was had but then he came back and caught the touchdown by Mr. CD Lamb. So I'm just gonna say really quick, I don't necessarily hate the Cowboys, but how about them Cowboys? DA?
Here's what I'm thinking. What's going to happen in Kansas City to the Royals during the offseason? They've already released their president. Will there be other heads to roll? That's what I'm thinking.
I'm thinking, what prediction is Johnny going to get wrong this week? But no, I'm thinking, how in the world is KU football? How are they not ranked? I mean, give them a number 25. They're 3-0. They've played well. You drive by. I didn't drive by, but you see, folks posting signs that hanging outside of people that live out there in Lawrence. They just took a sheet and painted, "Hey, we want Bama." Well, give them. But I still think they deserve a ranking. 25. KU has been so bad for so long, and now they're 3-0. Give them a ranking. But that's what I'm thinking about.
I am thinking, how are the Cardinals going to approach their starting rotation in this wild card series coming up? Personally, I think Quintana deserves a spot. I think he's earned it. But yeah, that's what's on my mind right now.
All right, gentlemen, I'm gonna start off round 2 with letting everyone know that next Thursday night, the National Hockey League starts back up, and I'm excited because I think we're cup contenders, and I'm gonna honk this horn 3 times. Honk, honk, honk. And if you know anything, that means let's go Blues. DA, it's on to you, my friend.
That's a tough one to follow, Johnny, but here's what I'm thinking. Hey, to all the people in Florida, family, friends, loved ones, our prayers are with you. Stay safe. Praying for the best outcome down there during this tough time. That's what I'm thinking.
Very similar with me. I'm thinking about Art Haynes and his family, and continually looking for updates, hoping that things continue to get better. I know it's a long road, but he's a tough son of a gun, and he's been through a lot. With the cancer that he faced earlier in his life. But Chris, Kathleen, Lisa, God bless you, and we're praying for you.
Yeah, I gotta stick with Darren here. I know there's a lot of uncertainties going on in the world as a whole, but especially down there in Florida and around that area. It's a pretty nasty hurricane. So I'm just hoping for the best. I know my wife has family there. Just hoping for the best for them, and that everybody makes it out all right. So.
Absolutely, gentlemen. The sports world becomes sports incident, and it's everything that it entails becomes very small when you start understanding the significance of life-threatening illnesses and of life-threatening natural disasters that are occurring in our world. I think we'll end it there, and I will say this for the Huddle Up family, the Missouri Sports Network family, that our prayers and thoughts are with the Haynes family and those that are in that direct path of Hurricane Ian. We are thinking about you, and we hope the best for you. And we hope to see you all again next week here at Huddle Up on the Missouri Sports Network.